Hello, hi, it's Henry the computer guy, and welcome to our lesson number 47. And in today's lesson, we are actually going to be looking at the features of a word processor. Remember, in the previous lesson, we saw the difference between word processing and a word processor. So down here, we are provided with a window of a word processor that actually contains some of the features we are going to be using to manipulate our document, and that is figure 4.1. So they are trying to tell us that the image below shows a window of a word processor with some features that enable a user to manipulate a document. So what we are going to do is to explain some of these labeled components onto this window, such that we can at least understand a little of them before we go any further. And today we are going to begin with what we call the office button. What does the office button help us to do? It can actually enable you to open a document. You can use it to save a document. You can use it to open those documents which were created earlier. You can use it to print your document and other tasks. So it can also be used to perform other document output functions, for example, the fax and email. Or it can as well be used to change some word options. For example, you want to change the measurements, let's say the units from centimeters to meters, let's say, and other units. It can be done on the office button. So now, another one is what we call the quick access toolbar. Why do we call it the quick access toolbar? This is specifically that toolbar that contains a set of commands that are independent of the tab on the ribbon that is currently displayed. That means that you can add some options onto this quick access toolbar, such that whenever you can go to different tabs, they will always remain present and you can easily access them with ease. For example, if I can put some items up here, so whenever I change the tabs from, let's say, home, insert, page layout, review, for them they will remain present and I can access them with ease. So we come to what we call the ribbon tabs. These are the ones we have. For example, there are 7 in number. We have the, let's say, the home, the insert, the page layout, the reference, the mailing, the review, and then lastly we have the view here. So those are called the ribbon tabs. It is specifically located below the quick access toolbar and the title bar. So it includes all those 7 other tabs that we are going to be looking at. And remember, each tab has different options. So we shall be looking at each of these options work in the different tabs that we have seen. And actually the whole of these combination of the tabs and their options, if we combine them, we can term that one as a ribbon. Then we come to what we call the title bar. And this lies next to the quick access toolbar and it displays the title of the current open document. For example, when I name my document, the name will actually come here. So it will be as the or acting as the title or our title. So whenever you name your document, the name will come on the top here and that one will be the title bar. Then aside here we have what we call the window controls, and this one contains the 3 options there. We have the minimize, this one in form of the negative symbol. We have this one in form of a box, that is the maximize or restore, and this one is actually the close. So we shall be seeing what they all do. Then aside here we have what we call the help button, and this one provides us with quick access to help topics. For example, if you don't know what something does, you can actually come and seek for some guidance or help from the word processor. Remember, it can be used offline. So you type there what you want. If, let's say, it exists, they can actually give you some help of how to go about it. Then down here we have what we call the view ruler. For example, we are seeing a ruler here and they are naming it as the horizontal ruler. If you want to actually to view it, you can actually click here, and if you want to hide it, you don't want to see it, you can use the view ruler button. Then down here we have what we call the vertical scroll bars. What do these ones help us to do? They can change the lay, for example, they can put something to view or focus. If, let's say, you're having a page and you're seeing some of the items here, but you're not seeing those ones which are down, you can go on scrolling through such that you can be able to see them. So you can use it to view parts of a document that are not visible. Then down here we have what we call the browser button. And the browser button specifically has some of the buttons we can use to browse for some things. For example, you'll find there the help, you'll find there the go to, you'll find there the footnote, and others. So you can use them to look for those buttons that you actually want to view. Then we also have down here what we call the zoom tool, and the zoom tool is actually used when you actually want to, for example, zoom in and zoom out. You want to increase the size of the page or reduce the size of the page. You can either zoom in or zoom out. Then the next one close to the zoom tool is what we call the view tab. What does the view tab do? This changes the layout view of the document to either the normal view, to the layout view, to the print layout view, to the web layout, and it can even give us the outline view. So it provides us with a layout or to view the layout of a document that we are working on. Then down here we have what we call the status bar, and this displays the position of the insertion point and working mode buttons. So this working, for example, it can even show you, for example, the number of pages you're having, the words you're having, and that will be all these ones allocated on what we call the status bar. Then here we have what we call the text area. You're going to start typing your content. So you're going to type it in the text area. So they will appear on this white page that we are seeing. Remember, we have a cursor here, and that cursor will specifically indicate the insertion point. Where is our text going to be, let's say, appear when we have started writing it? So a cursor is a blinking line or point that identifies where new text will appear. Then this side we have what we call the vertical ruler. The vertical ruler can also help us, of course it is a ruler, and it is just to, let's say, set the margins, the indent, and other tasks. For example, you want to, let's say, your text to begin from a certain point, you can, let's say, use this ruler to move it either on top or down so that the text can begin exactly where you want to start from. That is the ruler. Then we have what we call the tab selector, and at times this one is called the tab indicator, and it's that button to the left of the ruler that specifies the user or provides the user or supplies the user with a variety of tab mark options. So this is actually what I've tried to explain on this window. Let's continue and look at some of the features we can talk about a little. So they're telling us that the typical features of modern word processing software include, so we can create a document from there, we can edit a document from there, we can save a document from there, and we can even print our documents. These are some of the things we can do there. So what does editing mean? Editing means that you're making changes to the already existing content in a document. For example, you created a document yesterday, today you come, you remove some information which is there and put others. That is what we call the editing. Then we can use it to copy copies, like making a duplicate of that copy or information you're having. Then pasting is like you're putting it in a certain location. Then moving is the same as cutting. And this one specifically helps us to remove the item from its original place and put it in another place. So that means that copying and cutting are different. Copying makes a duplicate, whereas moving or cutting removes that item from its original place. So we can even delete text within the document. That means that you're going to erase it. We also have the formatting of the text, such as, let's say, you can change the font type, let's say to Times New Roman, Tahoma, Arial, and others. You can bold your work, you can underline it, you can even italicize it. So what is the meaning of specifically the formatting? Formatting enhances the appearance of a document. It is different from editing. This one just enhances the appearance of a document. Then we can even create and edit text and even add tables. For example, you want to design a table, put information there, remove it from there, you can use that one as in word processor. We also have multiple font sizes. That's why you're seeing in my document here, some of the words are bigger than the other. So we can even be able to change the sizes of a word or some words or some content in our document. Then we have what we call the spelling checker. You've ever typed some words and just below those words a wavy red color appears. What does it actually mean? It means that your spelling is being checked and it is wrong. So at times you've seen when that wavy color is green, that means that the grammar is not also right. Then here we also have what we call the built-in thesaurus. What does that thesaurus do? The thesaurus helps us to provide us with alternative words that have the same meaning. Let's say you have start, a word that is, let's say start, you want to use other words that can mean the same. Let's say resume, let's say begin. You can go to what we call the thesaurus. It will provide you with other options of words that mean exactly as that one that you have selected. Then we have the automatic text correction. At times you might be typing some information, but you type a wrong word. So what the processor can actually correct that word without even you looking at it. It can correct it for you. That is called the auto text correction. And word processors also have what we call pre-formatted templates. And a template is actually that document that is having some information or content already made. You can just modify it to suit what you actually want. Let's continue. And they are telling us that we have an activity 4.1. Remember, we are in chapter 4 and it is the first activity in our chapter 4. So that one makes it to be activity 4.1. And it is all about understanding the features of a word processor. So they are telling us that in groups, that means that you're going to get either 3 to 4 or 5 people, you discuss this or you do this one. Open a document or open a word processor. After opening a word processor, you're going to identify the groups of the word processing features. For example, you have copy, to which group does it belong? Let's say you have the thesaurus, to which group does it belong? Let's say you have the font, to which fonts, this is sizes, style, to which group does it belong? That is the type of the group they want. Then type the sentence, I like my school. So you're going to type that sentence, then you will be making modifications on it. Select or highlight the sentence in 3 above. That means that you're going to highlight our I love my school. And click on any 3 features. So you're going to look for any 3 features and make the modifications. Observe the changes which occur in the text. What changes have you seen? Then state the function of each of the features identified. So after identifying them, we continue. That means that we shall be able to indicate them into a table. So they are telling us that we copy and complete the table shown below. So that means that after using the feature, identifying the feature, you write it there. Then you know, or you look for the group where it belongs, you put it there. Then you also give us the feature, the use of the feature in word processing. For example, I gave you bold, and bold is under the font group. And what does it help us to do? It is used to make your selected text bold or courageous or brave. So that is actually, you're going to look for other or identify other features, then you look for the groups and their usage. So they're telling us that share your findings on the word processing feature and the group they belong to. That means that you're going to be including that information in that table above. And down here we have what we call a hint. How can we open a word processor? Remember, you're going to open a word processor to do the other task they have given you. But how are you going to open it? So they're telling us that you're going to go to, let's say, your start. You click on the start. Then after you go to all programs, then you look for what you call Microsoft Office. Then you look for Microsoft Office Word, either 2007. Remember, we say that for our case, we are going to base mostly on 2007. So let me try to show you how we can do that item. Let me exit the slideshow of this presentation. Then I go to my desktop, I click on start. Let me close this one or minimize it. So what we are going to do is very simple. We shall come to our start button. You click there. Then you come to programs or all programs. When you click there, they're giving us an arrow. Then we look for what we call Microsoft Office. When we come on Microsoft Office, we are going to be selecting our Microsoft Office Word 2007. So you click on it. So that's how it is going to display. And these are the items we really talked about: the window, the office button, quick access toolbar, the title bar, and others as we looked at them. Remember, they have told us to type a word: I love my school. So now, when I type that, you're going to find or to notice that the words are very small. They are not all that visible. That means that we have to make them visible. We are going to increase the size. So to make any change on any word, you first have to select it. Remember, they told you to select it. So selecting, I'm going to highlight it. I'm selecting it. That is it. I've selected it. After selecting it, you'll come and increase your size. The size is here, but it is under the group of the font. So remember, you talked about the group. So this is the group. So I'm going to come to my group of the font. I change my size such that the word becomes more bigger for everyone to notice it. Are we together? I can even change the font style. Let's say I can say put it to Times New Roman. You see it? Then I can start making my modifications. I can make it bold. I can make it, let's say, italic. I can make it underline. Let me remove the underline. I can make it, let's say, let me put the color. I can give it the color. Now it becomes red. That is the word I'm actually having. Remember, previously I also talked about what we call the thesaurus. What does it do? For example, if I type the word start, I want to get other words that mean the same as start. So I will highlight this one. I'll look for my thesaurus. That means that I'll come to the review tab. When I come to the review tab, I will click on the thesaurus. When I click on this thesaurus, it brings me other options of the words that mean the same as start. We have create, we have begin, establish, startup, and others. So the thesaurus gives us alternative words that have the same meaning. So that is what you're going to actually do in that activity. So you're going to identify the group, identify the feature, identify the group to which it belongs. Then you also give us the use of that feature that you have used in your document. So I don't actually to make the video too long. It's been Henry the Computer Guy, and I thank you for watching. And if you also have a friend who actually needs this, help me and share the link to them. I sign out. Bye bye.